I wanted to task myself with rebuilding the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. Now this is a little school in Brookings, South Dakota, and we're going to try and bring them to national prevalence, but it won't be easy, so let's ride along for the journey. We signed a one-year contract with this university, and we're going to have to show what we're made of right away on the field, but to start it off, we had to play Alabama in the first game of the year. I was proud of our defense right off the start, getting a fourth down turnover against the Tide. But our offense would come on the field, and we had a bad case of not being able to catch the ball and not being able to block. We'd go down 10-0 in the second quarter, but quarterback Chase Cunningham would be able to find a few targets and get the ball moving for SDSU. And with fans hitting the exit, we'd end up losing to the Tide 31-14, which wasn't as embarrassing as we were expecting. Next up, we'd have a big rivalry game against the University of South Dakota. Now this would be our Hobo Days matchup, and we needed this win big time for the program. Quarterback Chase Cunningham came through and had a field day against the Coyotes, going for big numbers on the ground. We were able to show this program that they made the right hire as coach, and we were going to lead this university towards success. Another one of our big playmakers, Frank Peasant, would show us why he's so hard to tackle, as he'd go for big numbers against the rival Coyotes. We'd end up winning 24-7, and this was big for the program, getting the fans excited and hoping that we might have a good year of college football. This would also put our quarterback Chase Cunningham on the NCAA all-time passing leaders for the season at number 6 with 546 yards. For week 3, we had Grambling State, and we knew this was going to be a tough opponent, but Chase Cunningham was able to get his legs rolling and the passing game in action. We'd score pretty easy and go up 7-0, and with things looking our way, you'd see on the next drive Cunningham get sacked in the end zone for a safety. This would give Grambling all the momentum they needed, and to go on and have a back and forth game, we'd have it tied at 17 in the third when you'd see a big time fumble. With Grambling up 24-17, you'd see a questionable call from their offensive coordinator going for it on 4th and 11. We'd end up getting the stop back here and getting the ball. We'd charge down the field with pretty much ease late in the fourth quarter. With a minute to go, you'd see Cunningham make his biggest play of the game, getting us all the way to 1st and goal. But he would hurt his back on this play and would be out for the rest of the game, leaving us with backup quarterback. We'd get a clutch touchdown from Frank Peasant, giving us the tie. As we went to overtime, we were stopped by Grambling State and were forced to kick a field goal. And on 2nd goal, you'd see Grambling State get the walk-off touchdown, absolutely demoralizing us. Week 4 would see us traveling down south to play Florida Atlantic, a battle of the 1 and 2 teams. Now this game wouldn't start very good for us without having quarterback Chase Cunningham still injured from last week. You'd see our backup Rice making the throws, but receivers not being able to haul them in. We dropped this game 27-7, which would hurt and really start to make me rethink taking this coaching job at SDSU. Our main goal for this year was just to try and get to a bowl game, and that was starting to look out of reach. We had a bunch of recruits flying in to watch us play this game against rival NDSU for the Dakota Marker game. But with Cunningham back off his back problems, all he was able to do was throw interception after interception. We were, however, lucky that our defense kept it at a 0-0 game, and we were able to get the fullback involved for this touchdown. Our defense would play big, and we'd go on to get the 30-24 overtime victory. But all that momentum would be lost when we'd end up dropping 3 straight games in a row to conference opponents. We'd end up beating UAB 36-20, which would kind of lift us up, but we'd still be sitting at 2-5, which just wasn't acceptable. We'd finish off the year at 3-9 with a low job security rating. But after convincing the program that recruiting was going well, they'd sign me to a contract till 2019. We'd lose some of our star players, including quarterback Chase Cunningham, who would go away and graduate. We'd lose a couple good defensive players to the transfer portal, which would leave some holes in our defense. We'd finish up the offseason, getting a couple good recruits that we chased all year, and hopefully next year be able to improve our record. So stay tuned for the next video where we'll show year 2 of this rebuild.